how confident are you guys that the Bengals will beat the Browns, Steelers, and the Broncos to win out?
I mean, the results this season have been a mixed bag of tricks. You can't be confident one way or the other. And I'm not trying to give a political answer here. I just think that you got to really just take it one game at a time, right? You really do. You can't get too big for your bridges. You got the Browns up next on tap. The Bengals are able to go into their house and beat them. So they're going to be looking to get that one back. But I also believe the Bengals can beat them. We got to see. But I heard Myles Garrett got injured and he was out for the game for an eye injury. I don't know if he came back into the game or not. There was a lot of mixed back and forth on Twitter. So I got to check on that to see if Myles Garrett was able to come back into the game and what his long-term status is. But you got to feel good that the Bengals can win this game. You know, they like a team that's sort of putting it all together, especially considering I think they didn't they lose one of their corners, I think Greg Newsome.
Yep.
For the next couple of weeks. So he won't be playing in this game. So the Bengals will be able to do some good stuff. And Coots Magoo said Myles came back into the game. So that was a false report that I saw. But yeah, I think the Bengals should be able to win this game. But again, beating the Browns have been something that has been difficult for them for the most of Joe Burrow's career. It was big to get that victory early in the season, but don't think that the Browns are just going to roll over. That's a good football team over there. I know Nick Chubb apparently broke his foot, so he obviously won't be playing in that game as well. So Browns are definitely down some pieces, just like the Bengals are. So Danny, what are your thoughts for that game?
Yeah, I think that, and this is where, if we want to have the Zach Taylor conversation, because I saw a lot of people were saying, you know, covering for Zach Taylor. This is what's going to prove it to me. These past 2 weeks were nice, right? You got 2 wins, very good. It's the divisional games. It's the close one-score games. So for me, I think that this next stretch, I don't know if he has to go 3-0, right? I think that if the Bengals beat the Browns and beat the Steelers, I think that there's a real chance where Zach Taylor's back. But this is, for me, that's what the question is, right? The divisional games, how do you perform? And he has continuously been a below 500, coach when it comes to these divisional games. So I would hope that Browns game is a win. The one I'm really circling is that Pittsburgh Steelers game, because I think, and this is what I said on the earlier shows, and we talked about this, I think that this season is going to come down to week 18 for all 3 playoff teams, the Colts, the Broncos, and the Cincinnati Bengals. Because I believe the Bengals will beat the Browns. I think that they will beat the Broncos, and it'll come down to the Bengals either beating the Steelers and the Broncos losing to a Chiefs team that potentially could be resting the starters. So I'd be circling those games, because the Pittsburgh Steelers game, I'm very confident the Steelers will still be having to play for something. They'll still have to play for that 2 seed, because them and the Buffalo Bills have the same record right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that both teams are going to, like I said, you got to go into Pittsburgh to win that game. So I think that that's the one I'm really circling when it comes to Zach Taylor and the Bengals.